Let's connect with Anup Bagchi now, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of ICICI Securities. Anup, it's been a while. Really good to have you back on ET now. Anup, we've come a long way from the recent low. Even though we are striking distance away from an all-time high on the Nifty, at higher levels, market is losing momentum. Do you think for the moment the best part of the market action and market rallies behind us?
No, I think two or three things, Nikunj. One is that from the lows, if we look at, we are 17% up. And so, it's natural that there will be some consolidation here. Momentum at this point of time seems to be losing a bit of a steam. I think waiting for state elections to come. And when that clears, I think that will give a flip to the market again. But overall, if you look at the overall consensus, I think there has been upgrade in earnings everywhere. And so that is also a positive thing. And in general, I would say that the mood, has been, positive in the last 4-5 months. If you look at institutional investors, they have been looking at it positively. Funds have been flowing in. The retail investors, we have the very large retail investor base. We see more and more of them logging in and looking at the portfolio, not yet trading as yet, but that's certainly a good positive leading indicator. So across asset classes, across, investor classes, if you see, both, FIIs, they are looking at it positively. DIAs, of course, they don't have AUMs. But they are looking to churn and do some sector rotation. Retail investors, they are certainly logging in, looking at the portfolio again, but yet to act though. But I would say that at this point of time, momentum is stalling a bit, but there could be a trigger which can take it up. So higher probability of it going up rather than going down in the next few months.
I know besides the state election outcome on December 8th, the other big event is going to be the RBI policy. Though given the way the bond yields have been panning out, it seems that the market is already pricing in a rate hike. If indeed a rate hike were to come about, how big an event would it be from an equity standpoint?
No, equity standpoint, I don't think it's going to be a big event. In fact, just before the last time when the hike came, we had predicted and we had said that, it's a small flip. The basic issue about bank is what is our view on NPAs and stress on the banking system. Because, it's balance sheet which is more important in banking than the profit and loss account. And from that perspective, NPA issue is still there. So it's not off. Although the credit that is coming in and the bank's underwriting credit is becoming better. So, for example, there are no bad credits being taken up. The banks are very cautious. In fact, they are not lending that much. And we hope that, if the NPA pressures come down, I think banks will see a good run. And we have seen a lot of cleanup happening. But banking stress is something that we have to worry about. Not so much of interest rate, I would say.
Besides,
although, it's more topical.
Besides bank though, could it be a Nifty moving event if indeed there were to be a rate hike, or do you think that's already priced in given the way the bond yields have been panning out?
No, I think it has been priced in completely. I think, with this level of inflation, certainly nobody is expecting that, there would be rate cut or, even same rates. So I think it has been priced in. However, if something else happen, I think that will be a big up move. But at this point of time, it has been priced in completely.
Anup, you have the largest registered base of retail investors. Tell me a bit about the retail psyche. Yes. What are they doing?
No, retail at this point of time, across asset classes, I can tell you. On equities, they are logging in, looking at their portfolio, feeling a bit happy and nervous, but not doing much. But I must also say that, on the buy to sell, which we track every day, at around 5,600, 700, almost 60% were buying and 40% were selling. At this point of time, it has become 50-50. 50% by volumes are selling and 50% by volumes are buying, which essentially means that, they are, at equilibrium at this point of time. They are also rotating, taking some profits, etc. But what we have seen is that, when bull run comes, obviously, we have seen the highest of around 70-73% buying and only 30-37% selling. Selling doesn't mean that they sell. Even sector rotation obviously gets part of this selling. However, the money is moving into fixed income because, tax-free bonds are at very attractive yields, and that's a good alternative because, unlike institutional investors who is benchmarked to an index, so, even if index falls by, let's say, 10% and he falls by 5%, it's seen as 5%. Outperformance. But, for individual investors like you and me, we live on absolute returns. because, you know, we have absolute cost and expenses to take care of. So from that perspective, people are saying that my hurdle rate now is the tax-free rate, and that is at 8.5% upwards, and saying that, you know, if that is my tax-free rate, so unless, you know, my view on the markets is that it will substantially outperform 8.5%, which is quite a bit, because from 6,000, 8.5% is 6,600 Nifty. You know, then they are going to jump in. So I would say that they are going to jump in this time when the Nifty breaks 6,300. On the institutional side, however, I must also add that in the last few months, you know, if you see, large amount of monies have, you know, come into large caps. Retail has started moving a bit into small cap and mid cap, and which you also see in the index. But on the institutional investor, they are essentially very large cap driven. Quite a few is also very index driven. So that kind of money is coming in. So it's allocation money coming in. It's not still not so much of, you know, conviction money coming in, of stock conviction. It is, you know, basically, let's take a macro call on India. Let's you know, wait up on India a bit.
So, you know, in the given scenario wherein it's 50-50 buy-sell inflows and outflows, where is money being allocated, sectorally or stock-wise?
No, sectorally, I think, you know, money has started to go back into banking. And, you know, some money we are also seeing in, you know, PSU banks. Because PSU banks, you know, 2-3 months back had been completely written off. But I think large PSU banks is seeing some flows there. Money is going out of FMCG, and people are seeing that the evaluations are expensive, you know, consumption cycle may taper a bit, and so money is going out of that. Money is coming back into IT, because I think, you know, the results are strong, and I think you know, US and Europe both are doing reasonably well, so money is also going into IT. Money is going into this. I would say that disappointment has been, you know, cement, because there was some money in cement, and that is, the results have not been that good, so the money is a little bit going out there as well. Pharma, it is there, you know, it's neutral. It's not coming in, but it's not going out. So I would say these are the sort of pluses and minuses among the large caps, large sectors.
When you say banks then, Anup, and especially the PSUs, assumably, you know, you would have a bullish call on the ones which reported better asset quality, or are you seeing some contrarian calls as well kicking in in the PSU banking space in anticipation of improved asset quality from the next few quarters?
No, I think there has been a very, very, very clear divergence. You know, banks who have reported better than expected asset quality, you know, there it has moved up, and banks which have reported less than expected asset quality, they have been sold. So, you know, there is a very clear divergence, and I think at this point of time, even on the private sector banks actually, you know, I think the street was expecting that stress will show up more, and the you know, profit growth will be lesser. So there has been a positive surprise there. In some large banks, there has been a positive surprise on the asset side. And in some large banks, you know, PSU banks, there has been a negative surprise as well. So I think markets are very, very clearly focusing only on one variable there, and that is the asset quality. And, you know, banking balance sheets are very complex balance sheets. It's very difficult to, you know, make out what is the, you know, asset quality just from the balance sheet. Of course, you can do some, you know, call sectoral exposure, etc., but it's very difficult to make out. So, you know, people are hanging on to every word. People are hanging on to, you know, body language. People are hanging on to, you know, exposures of particular banks. But clearly it is asset quality, which is why I was saying, you know, just some time back, it's not interest rate hike that they are looking at in the banks. Of course, there will be some sentimental and, you know, topical, you know, up move if something happens positively on the interest.
So, Anup, before we let you go, give me a list of your top ideas, more oriented towards HNI and retail investors, where return could be high, but the risk also is limited.
On the mid cap, you know, it will be, I would say, Havells is good, you know, Shree Cement is good. On the large cap, you know, if you look at from risk reward perspective, I think Reliance still looks good, because, you know, downside is protected, upside may come. You know, ITC is a bit of a risky thing, but, you know, on the consumption space, if you have to have allocation in FMCG, I think that's a best stock to have. Cipla looks good. Cipla looks good on the large cap. And if you want to take a call on the cement, on infrastructure essentially, I think one must have, because if the